Uh, hey, never really made a video like this before. I usually try and script things as much as I can and keep it interesting and tell a bit of a story. But thought I'd do a bit of a deep dive into what was my UTA100 race. These thoughts have been ruminating in my brain over the past 2 or 3 weeks regardless. And since there was a reasonable amount of interest in my UTA video anyway, a bunch of questions which I've tried to be answering on that video, I figured I'd make this one. Maybe it's interesting. Maybe it's just a way for me to sift through my own thoughts. But UTA, that was a race. I publicly named my goal as being 10.5 hours, which I did not achieve. So maybe this is just going to be a list of all of my excuses as to why that didn't happen. But I've made some notes, so hopefully I don't just ramble aimlessly. But the plan is to talk a little bit about my training, the logistics of race weekend, the plan that I had for the race, the gear I used, and also some reflections on how I now feel about how I went. So, I guess here we go. So, look, the beginning of this year, I was signed up to race a race down in Victoria, Bogong to Hotham. It's like 65 Ks, and about a week out from the race, I rolled my ankle 3 times in one run, and did what I can only come to the conclusion of is that I did some nerve damage in there, which basically put me out for a month. No running for a month. I tried a couple of runs, aborted a couple of Ks in, and lost most of what I felt like was some pretty good fitness. I managed to jump on my bike a little bit, do some mountain biking, but running is my one true love these days. And when that was taken from me, kind of got a bit down. But after a month off, did actually manage to start stringing together some runs pain-free, and ran 3 consecutive days in a row, just 5 kilometers, when I was down in Bright with Sarah and a couple of friends. They were doing some Buffalo Stampede reconnaissance, which was exactly 3 months before UTA. So up until that point, I was sort of holding out as to whether to commit or not, whether that would be possible. But 3 months out, I felt like that had left me with just enough time to put together a training block, hopefully regain some fitness, and train hard but cautiously, because I didn't want to do too much and re-injure my ankle. And so, that was the beginning of the training block, starting from scratch. So what I did do was, for the whole training block, lean heavily on treadmill running. I have never really invested in running indoors and not cared to. It's a mindlessly monotonous, unenjoyable thing, and that has not changed. What I love about trail running is being outside in fresh air, being distracted by where I am running, and moving through the world, and feeling like I'm accomplishing something. So that was a bit of a new learning curve, to embrace treadmill running, and at the same time recognized that when starting from scratch, I think my first week of running was 30 Ks, I would not have running volume on my side. So made a plan. I coach myself, so made a plan to train hard and smart, and lean on as much of the marginal gains, the 1%ers, that I possibly could. So lots of uphill treadmill running. All of this stuff is ripped nearly wholly from David Roach and the swap philosophy. I'm a big fan. But lots of uphill treadmill running. The theory being that if my ankle, it would be easier on my ankle, lower impact, and that if I did start to feel some pain, then I could just jump straight off. And I wasn't far from home. Often I've been in a situation where I'm trying to run again after an injury, and you get 5Ks away from home, and all of a sudden it starts hurting, and necessarily you need to run another 5Ks to get home. So treadmill running in the shed here at home felt like a safe way to start running again. I also leaned heavily on heat training, and was doing sort of 2 half-hour sessions a week in like thermals, long pants, 2 down jackets, a beanie, getting real sweaty. With the hope that I can squeeze all of the possible performance gains out of that. And I also had a bit of a renewed focus on fueling. I've always been able to eat high carb during races, but made a concerted effort to start training starting to fuel my training much more than I have in the past. During sessions, interval sessions on the treadmill, I was fueling, and also outside of when I was running, I was hitting protein shakes and just trying to fuel enough. Overall it was a far lower volume training block than what I would have done if uninjured. I would typically run sort of 12 to 14 hours a week uninjured, but was really left in that sort of 8 to 10 hours a week, just trying to manage the load. But the other slight amendment I made to my training was actually upped the intensity a little bit, led by David Roach. In the past 24 months, I was doing a lot of intensity controlled threshold training, but it seems like his approach, and also trying to feel out what works well for me, is that I started running my intervals a lot harder, easing into sessions. The treadmill's good like that. You can kind of just dial in your numbers and pace it so that you finish working really hard. That doesn't necessarily feel super hard at the beginning. Less training than I normally would have done, but at higher intensities. Still doing easy runs every week, 2 or 3 of them. A lot of high zone 2 running as well, which for me was a learning curve. There's actually pushing much harder than what Instagram influencers tell you it is. At least that was my experience. So that was my training block. And left me at a place where I felt fit but highly uncertain as to where that was actually going to leave me 100 Ks into a race. It was a good feeling. I felt poppy and strong and fit, was finishing my long runs. Feeling strong, putting in some, short efforts at the end of a lot of those long runs. So felt good, but just uncertain is probably the main thing. So then after a short taper, I didn't feel super fatigued, so I didn't take my foot off. That's my dog barking at me. What's going on, Polly? She's got the zoomies. Wasn't feeling super fatigued from a training block because it was quite short and low volume. So didn't take a massive taper. Even did a bit of a light session the week of the race, but did take an extra day or 2 off. And then the Friday race weekend, went for like a 6K jog here with my brother, finished with some strides, and then we jumped in the car and drove up to Katoomba. It's about a 2-hour drive from here. Got into Lura, had some lunch there, had a burger and some chips, and then drove over to like the event village. Checked in there. I'd done my mandatory gear check prior to the race weekend, so I didn't need to do that. But Sarah was pacing Kelly Angel in the miler, so she needed a gear check. So we both went up there, checked in, and got my number. And then did a quick lap around the expo, but try and stay off my feet as much as I can the day before running 100Ks. So didn't get sucked into buying things that I didn't need or spending too much time there. And then left Sarah in Katoomba. She was going to pace Kelly that evening. And then we actually then pushed past Katoomba all the way down to Lithgow. Accommodation in Katoomba was wildly expensive and few and far between when we got organised enough to look at that stuff. So ended up in Lithgow, which was much cheaper, but was much further away than ideal. I think if I had my time over again, I would have just sucked it up and paid whatever they were asking for us to stay in Katoomba. But look, that was the decision we made. So about an hour in the car back to Lithgow, where unpacked, got organised, and mixed up some sugar water and cooked dinner. I made like a sweet potato curry, rice. I've eaten that before many races before. Feels good. Was there with my brother and his wife. She's vegetarian, so I worked for them. Just recognized that these weekends can be quite selfish when you're racing. That whole next day, people were there doing things for me. So cooking dinner the night before was the least I could do to say thanks. And then, early to bed. It's one of my greatest skills, I think, in life, that when I'm horizontal, I can sleep. And that, luckily, is no different the day before a race. I was a little nervous, don't get me wrong. There were some butterflies in the stomach. I wanted to do well in the race the next day, but I think about 8 o'clock, I was asleep. Sarah was out running, pacing Kelly, but didn't take me too long to get to sleep. Woke up at like 2 a.m. when Sarah got home from pacing, but again, drifted off to sleep pretty quick until the alarm went off at 3:45 in the morning. And I felt well rested, but also wanted to give myself enough time in the morning to be relaxed. I hate being rushed. Got up, made coffee for everyone, made some breakfast. Sarah actually got up as well, which is crazy. She only had like 2 hours sleep. And she was actually then crewing me for the rest of that day. So, she was starting on the back foot. But we then got in the car at just before 5 a.m. And drove only about 45 minutes at that time of morning into Katoomba. And I know that the event is trying to manage thousands of cars and runners, and so strongly encourage everyone to get the shuttle buses from Katoomba so as to not take up all the street parking. But we did drive in as far as we could to find a park, and did find a park with lots of other runners who were doing the same thing. Got there probably 20 minutes before we really needed to be there. But again, I'd much rather sit in the car and not stress about being late than to leave it late and try and find a park and be stressed right before the race. So so that was kind of the lead up to the race morning. And which I guess leaves us now with the plan for the race. Again, I was fairly uncertain as to where my training block had left me. So also recognize that I don't usually race well when I'm trying to run real fast at the start. It just takes me a while to get into races. The more long ones that I do, the more I'm increasingly aware that it takes me 40 to 50 kilometers to really settle into my effort. My heart rate just seems to be high, higher than everyone else around me. Trying to make myself okay with watching people run past me at the beginning. And I always try and tell myself that at the beginning of a race, I can let someone run past me, and that's my choice. But if someone runs past you later on in the race, it's often not by choice. You can't do anything about it. So, try and tell myself that I let people pass me on my terms. And in the back of my head, when that happens, more often than not, I am like, see you later. Settled into what was 67th position at the first timing point, wherever that was, I think 10Ks in, which was probably further back than what would have been ideal. But again, I was not running my race based on what people were doing around me. I was just trying to feel out my effort, and that's where that left me. So I didn't have any splits. I didn't have any particular times that I wanted to be at particular places. The intent was very much just to feel out my effort and try and sustain high zone 2. Mr. Roach says that that should be possible for 100Ks, for 100-mile races, if fueling appropriately. And so that's kind of, that was my approach. I definitely didn't run being dictated to by my watch. I was conscious of it, but very much a feel-based effort is how I started that race. I guess speaking of fueling that sort of effort, I had 45 grams of carbs in each of my soft flasks, and then the plan was to eat a 90-gram gel every hour. I set my watch to beep every hour, so removes the need to keep track of that. And watch go beep, eat a 90-gram gel. And so 90 grams plus 45 in my bottles is 135 grams. But I do know that I don't drink exactly one bottle per hour. The day wasn't hot, and so it was a little bit less than that. And then every 3 hours, I'd take a 30-gram caffeinated precision gel instead of my 90-gram gel. So that plus some cans of Coke every time I saw Sarah, which I didn't finish all of them. I might not have finished any of them, in fact. Left me at 105 grams of carbs per hour. I didn't take my last gel intentionally. It was just lots of traffic coming up to further steps, and felt fine. I'd fueled well all day, so skipped that gel somewhat consciously. The guts felt fine, so if I would have taken that, I would have been a little bit higher than 105, but about 105. It's always hard to know exactly. Sometimes there's little bits of gel left in the packets that you don't get. I also did fill up twice from aid stations with a NAC drink mix, and I mean, who knows how strong they mix that stuff. So somewhere between 100 and 110 grams of carbs per hour is what I did. And yeah, that was the plan, to sustain a high zone 2 effort all day. I actually took in previous races, I felt my day turns around when I have a can of Coke, which usually just ends up being about 40 Ks into a race. So I decided that I'd start my race with a can of Coke. So about 6 a.m. before the 6:20 start, down a can of Coke. That sat well. I'd probably do that again next time. No reason why I think that's a bad idea. So yeah, can of Coke to start the day. And then also breakfast. I was going to talk about breakfast. Just had some toast, peanut butter, honey on some toast, simple carbs. Sits well in my stomach. I eat that for breakfast a lot, often with banana too, but no banana on race morning. Just 2 pieces of white sourdough, peanut butter, honey, salt too. That was sort of my race plan, and the logistics of race morning. Let's talk about gear. I know most of you guys are big gear nerds, so always like asking me questions about what I was wearing and what I thought about things. I'm a big gear nerd too, so don't worry. We're all one and the same. But from bottom to top, I was wearing the Norda 005s, which are an amazing shoe. I like them a lot. Not sponsored. Definitely paid full price for those. But they're a great race shoe. Big fan. I'll probably do a review later, but Norda 005s, awesome Drymax socks. I think they're the Run Light Crew. I always race in those ones. I'm potentially making the switch to Features socks, but Drymax still working for me at the moment. Then I had some 2XU shorts, and then I think an Adidas top, and an On 5-liter running vest up top. Made the switch to that vest a couple of weeks before UTA, and provided you're not carrying more than 2 full soft flasks, that's a great vest. I think if you're forced to carry more than 2, they don't really have a great soft flask carrying capacity solution for the back. The race was not too hot, and 2 soft flasks is 2 full soft flasks is the most I ever carried. So that 5-liter vest worked super well. That's the gear I had. What happened? My goal time of 10.5 hours was missed by nearly an hour. Look, I think upon reflection, 10.5 hours was based on little more than hopes and dreams. I have run UTA 3 times prior. The first 2 years was on the original course. 2018, I ran 11:08. 2019, I ran 11:16. And then, I ran at that flat fire trail year, which is like 9 hours, but a completely different course. And so I think my goal of 10.5 hours was just a lofty kind of pie in the sky number, based on my hope and desire that I'm better now than I was 6 or 7 years ago. I feel like I know more about training. I feel like I'm training smarter, and so with that hope, I wanna believe that I'm better than I was back then. So 10.5 hours it was. That felt like a nice round number, and I thought that was achievable. Again, short training block, and uncertainty about where that was going to leave me, injury. The course was actually also slightly different. There was no golden staircase at the beginning anymore. That's closed at the moment. So there was a little amendment when you got down to 6 foot track to run down towards Cox's for a little bit. I foolishly assumed that would be all relatively flat running. It was definitely not. Rolling hills through there, not super technical, but that bit was slower than I was intending. And also there was a bit of the course that was different after we left the Fairmont too. You kind of descend down into this canyon. We used to go right and we went left this time. And speaking with a few people, they also are of the opinion that was harder. And I know that, GPS watch reads never 100% accurate, but the first 2 years that I ran the original course ended up with 98 kilometers and like 3,800 meters of climbing. This year, it was 101 point something kilometers, an extra 500 meters of climbing. These are some of the reasons I'm justifying not running 10 and a half hours with. I crossed the finish line and I was disappointed. I was kind of confused, disappointed that I'd overestimated my ability and publicly declared what my intentions and desires were for the race, and pulled up short. That's never a great feeling. Success, I think, is most easy to reconcile when your stated goal has been achieved. And objectively, that didn't happen. I was 52 minutes off. 52 minutes. A long way off. But then that feeling was offset by what I felt was like a very good management of effort. I raced with an average heart rate of 153 beats per minute, and while I have not had my blood lactate officially measured, my good friend Mr. Roach estimated the top of my zone 2 to be 154 beats per minute. So pretty bang on being a high zone 2 effort. And I didn't experience any heart rate fade. I finished strong, to the point where I did a deep dive number crunch based on everyone else's splits around me, and from the aquatic center back to Katoomba, which is like the last 44 kilometers of the race, I actually ran the 6th fastest split. And now I know that that's a bit rich to be proud of. Maybe that tells me I started too slow, and you could walk a marathon and close it in like 2.5 minute pace, and that means nothing. It means you're an idiot. You haven't actually run a good race. But to do that, but having managed my effort all day to be sustainable, is something that I'm proud of. It's a good feeling too, to finish strong, to be passing people, to be racing and hungry and pushing, but not exploding, is a good way to finish a race. And look, there's a big part of me that wishes I could start faster, but I'm of the opinion that if I would have pushed harder at the beginning, I wouldn't have had the legs to finish the way I did, and I would have compromised my time and my place. I think for the fitness that I had for UTA100 this year, that is the best race I could have run, and so that somewhat helps me better reconcile what was not achieving my goal. And I mean, yeah, I think it's a bit naff to go down this path, but 10.5 hours was my stated goal. But above that, I'm here for a good time. I do this for fun. Nobody's paying me to run races. No one's paying me to make these videos. These are the things that I enjoy. And, you know, in a life with family pressures and financial pressures and work pressures, if this isn't fun, if the investment in running these silly distances is not fun, then yeah, I think you've got some bigger questions to ask. But yeah, it took me a while to come around to being okay with that race. 10.5 hours would have also put me in the top 10 last year. And while I didn't make this openly my goal, top 10 this year gained you direct entry into CCC, and I'd love to go back. I try and not get too hung up on place goals, because that is very much just is out of my control. I can't control who turns up or the races that they have. And the reality is I could find you 100 guys, 1,000 guys who would absolutely crush me in their sleep without even trying. And so being motivated by how I stack up to those around me never really sits well with me. However, it would have been nice to have gone top 10 and gained direct entry into CCC. And so, yeah, I think that was part of what was bumming me out a little bit as well. You know, I can still put my stones into the lottery and try for that. And look, another European vacation next year probably is a bit of a long shot financially anyway. But look, on Wednesday morning after the race, I woke up to an email that said I got direct entry into CC. Maybe that's why I don't make these types of videos. My camera just overheated. So I think I'm on borrowed time because it's still pretty hot. But yeah, look, got a ticket for CCC next year. My hope is that I can transfer that up to UTMB. I don't know why I got it. I suspect some people declined it or perhaps already had entry. But yeah, that was kind of a nice cherry on top. I think I'd already come around to being satisfied with my race, and to be rewarded with that as well. It feels good. I do still have a bit of imposter syndrome. With achieving that. But yeah, look, I'll take it. Hopefully we can make it work. Work and finances may get in the way. But yeah, before then, we're going to Europe anyway, though. Dolomites in like 6 weeks now, just for fun times, doing 2 Via Alta crossings of the Dolomites, staying in huts, having a good time, me and Sarah, no kids, doing what we love. So keen to do that. And then, yeah, when we get back, probably think about some more races. This year it's been a learning curve, and trying to fit running in amongst changing work and family circumstances. It's made me realize that it takes a lot to train for these races. And I was questioning whether I was going to be motivated to continue to do so. But I enjoy racing. It was really fun up there. It was fun to have Sarah crewing me. It was fun to have Dad around crewing my brother. The more I'm in this community, the more friends I'm making. And look, it's special. There's a special thing we do. I often sell short. Yeah, how crazy it is that we can power ourselves through the mountains for an entire day or two in one go. So yeah, look, I think the motivation's still there. probably carve out some time to make some more videos between now and the Dolomites. And yeah, but hopefully this was interesting. Maybe it wasn't. Maybe this is just me rambling to a camera for no reason. But appreciate you guys who are watching, who make nice comments, who say hello, all those sorts of things. Makes this all worthwhile, I think. But if not, I enjoy making them nonetheless, so too bad. But yeah, finish this one up here. Thanks for watching. Bye.